Hi, Christine. Just one more minute, wrapping up your critique here. So, overall, the background looks good. I just think maybe it looks a little bit matchy matchy, and so maybe play around with the idea of a different color in the background because you have so many blues going on. You have the blue text, the blue headline, and the blue background. The yellow looks really good. I just may consider a white or a black or a gray here in the background and see if that helps it look a little bit more modern, okay? But overall, you're definitely heading in the right direction. Just a few final tweaks to the content, mostly when it comes to what you have written here on the page. All right, thanks, Christine. Okay, and then let's see who's next. Marie, you opted in. Okay, so here is your ad, or the original ad. No right field, no left out. Yeah, that's a cool ad. Okay. And then, cool. No penalties, no red card. Like it. You didn't do the exact same thing, but you were definitely inspired by the original, which I love. Really good job with the typography. It's very professional. I would just double check that red cards, I'm pretty sure it's probably 2 words, so double check that. Okay, let's see. Let me glance back at the original here. So this is centered, this and that. I like how the words jump out because they're on this dark part of the image. The image itself looks pretty good. You may be able to go in Photoshop, go to levels, and see if there's a way that you can make it look a little bit brighter, where it's brighter with leaving some of the darkness there. It's just in danger a little bit of being too dark, perhaps. If you printed this, you wouldn't want it to look really dark because then you might lose some of the lines and some of the interesting elements. So maybe you might consider lightening a little bit or bringing in the levels a little bit. If you're able to, if you're not quite sure how to use levels, you could just do a quick search for how to use levels in Photoshop. And I'm sure there's a 1 or 2 minute tutorial out there that will show you how to do that. So this picture is a little bit more vibrant when it comes to the colors, and you keep the lightness and you keep the darkness, but it just works a little bit more to help things pop out a little bit better. I see someone is mentioning to line up the text. So maybe putting that over here. And that's not a bad idea. So these are kind of right aligned. So you could do that. Don't think you necessarily have to, but if you do it and it looks better, then definitely I would recommend sticking with that. But really, it looks great. I think it looks really good. The only thing is see if you can get this image to pop a little bit more, and you're definitely on the right track. You've done a really, really great job. Let me see if you have any slides. Okay, I don't see any slides, so hopefully you're doing well with those. Okay, Matt, let's take a look at yours. I think you're next here. Flourish and radiate. Okay, good. Okay, one thing I noticed right off the bat is when you look at this original ad, see how small the typography is right here and how small this is? And the main emphasis is the Flourish and Jessica Alba. On yours, it's kind of a competition here. I mean, you see Jessica Alba, but then this typography is so big, it's kind of competing with her. And so, and this is really big, which I'm okay with. Maybe that was a choice you made to make it larger. But then this is larger and this is larger. So in order to have a nice balance and a nice order of hierarchy, which is one of our original principles, so you can leave this large or make this a little bit smaller. Obviously, you want the main emphasis to be her with the product, and then I would make this a lot smaller like the original, and this a lot smaller too, and probably tuck it. You could tuck this type down here in this corner, and maybe even left align it, so maybe you have Crack Life open in this space, and then you have your typography, this portion down here, because you have a lot going on. Like this is right aligned, this is right aligned, this is kind of floating around up there. So there's not a lot of consistency when it comes to why you have things placed where you do. So if you have this Crack Life open and it's left aligned with the edge of the R, and then underneath that left aligned is your little plug about the product itself, and then the main star is Jessica Alba and radiating from the inside out. Okay, so continue to refine the placement of what you have there. Let's take a look again at the original. The original has a lot of white space. You kind of can't have a lot of white space because of the image in the background. I think I would recommend making radiate a little bit smaller too, okay? Just so they kind of go together a little bit more. And you don't have the edge of the E too close to the top of the page, and then your images get to stand out a little bit more as well. Let's see if you uploaded any slides yet. This drawer looks interesting. Too much space between words, that's true. Oh, that's a good idea to have her be full color too. Okay, so she has some different suggestions, I think. Of course, use your classmate critiques too, but I would mainly focus on the placement of your typography and the sizing a little bit. Okay, Maria, you did not opt in. Gabriel, you did not. Not this time, Abigail. Paula, okay, you opted in. Useful no matter what you make. Okay, so this is this the original or is this your spin-off? Well, let's see. Well, I like your slides. They definitely look like appealing to your target demographic, I think. This one looks a tiny bit busy because you have the logo, the image, the circle. I maybe would try to, let's see, I try to introduce some kind of alignment on this slide, like maybe your logo put up here so it's left aligned with the no matter what the ad campaign. And then this, either align your edge of your circle with the edge of this or your type with the edge of this, okay? So try to have some kind of alignment so you don't have everything like placed a little bit haphazardly the way it looks right now. This one looks really good. Let me scroll down and look at the next part. Okay, so I think this was their ad, right? And this is good. Your words are just a little bit too close to the edge of the ad, all right? So make sure you have some breathing room for them. Usually you need at least half a letter or a full letter space, okay? Overall, it looks really nice. So this was their original, I'm assuming. And then this is your spin-off ad. Cute. I like it a lot. It definitely matches the original ad. One thing I will say is that you're supposed to actually type in the words, and so I would, if you just selected this and placed it in, I would probably recommend only selecting the logo and then putting in your own words, or using the same slogan but put them in your own words, your own color, just so you meet that minimum requirement. Let's see, I know it says it somewhere up here. I'll point it out to you real quick. Yeah, type in your text, don't copy paste elements from the original ad, okay? So make sure that you have that. Oh, safe no matter what you make. No, I think you did type it in. Awesome. Okay, good. Well, this is really, really great then. You pretty much are hitting all the requirements. It's definitely visually impactful, and I like it a lot. Okay, great job. Just continue to work on those slides a little bit, and then you're pretty much going to be there. You really don't have that many changes to make. Okay, Martha, let's take a quick look at yours. This is an ad UNICEF helped. Okay, and then your version. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Looks like a hand. Really like that. And then they have actual day they're promoting and their logo down there. Okay. Okay. So your so I want to remind you of the same thing I just mentioned to Paula. You want to definitely change out the writing. You're not supposed to copy and paste any writing. So type in your text, don't copy paste text or any other elements, okay? So I'm going to encourage you to switch this out for something similar but different. So maybe you look up what World Food Day is for 2018 and put that date here, and then World Food Day, and then the information. And then I like that you made this. I would recommend, since these forks are kind of cut off, they look like they're levitating in air. And remember, we never want to cut off an image and have it placed in a space where it looks like it's levitating, cut off for no reason. So here's what you can do to fix that. You can bring these cool fork hands down and maybe place them somewhere where they're going to be off the page, okay? And I honestly am not sure with the background image why it's so transparent, and with this shape over it, I'm not sure what the effect is that you're going for. I would rather see their faces a little bit more clearly. So I would encourage you, if you want to pull these forks down here, or you move the logo over a little bit and you put them in this space, kind of beside the logo, and then you have your own information somewhere on the page about World Food Day, then you could take a really nice strong image and have it kind of exist up in maybe the top 75% with a transparent shape in the bottom. And you could move this down to the bottom as well. So you can feel free to move around some of the elements on the page as long as it's matching the theme. I think right now you definitely need to focus on the image in the background, making it strong, making it appealing. And then these elements, you can pull them together and place them on the page. You can play around with it a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly where it originally was. So I would continue to kind of refine that. You have a lot of choices right now. So if you make a few choices and you're not sure if you're on the right track, you can email me what you have and I'll give you a little bit more feedback, or post again and you can ask your fellow classmates. But I would continue to kind of work. Maybe you could go for, this is a really nice clean image, so maybe you don't have the faces, maybe you have you know, like some food or something, but I just love this image and I think it's totally fine and great to use it. You just want to make sure it's not super transparent like it is right now, and then these forks aren't levitating. Okay, so let's see if there were any other ideas.